Mini PCs like the Asus NUC14 and GMK M6 M70 are fascinating little machines, packing a surprising amount of power into a compact form. If you're someone who values portability, sleek design, and efficiency, these devices might catch your eye. But before you dive in, let's break down what they're really good for and where they might fall short. Because trust me, while these mini PCs can be a game changer for some, they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. The appeal of mini PCs is undeniable. They're small, lightweight, and can easily fit into tight spaces, perfect for a minimalist desk setup or even for on-the-go use. Imagine having a full Windows experience in something not much bigger than a book. It's pretty cool. Plus, they're often energy efficient, which is a nice bonus if you're conscious about power consumption. Now, let's talk specifics. The Asus NUC14 runs on an Intel processor, making it great for everyday tasks like web browsing, coding, or even some light gaming. If you're into indie games or older titles that don't demand a lot from your graphics card, you'll probably be satisfied. But here's the catch. It uses integrated graphics. That means for anything more intensive, like modern AAA games or heavy video editing, you're going to feel the limitations. It's not that it can't handle these tasks at all, but you'll likely need to dial back settings or accept lower performance. For instance, you might be able to play a game at 1080p, but don't expect to crank up the settings to Ultra. It's more about compromise. On the other hand, the GMK M6 M70 steps things up with an AMD CPU, specifically the 7840HS, which is essentially the same chip as the Z1 Extreme found in some Alienware devices. This is a powerful processor, no doubt. In fact, it's one of the best you'll find in a mini PC. The integrated AMD Radeon 780M graphics are also quite impressive for their size. But again, there's a ceiling. While it can handle more demanding tasks better than the NUC14, you're still not getting the raw power of a dedicated GPU. If you're hoping to play the latest games at high settings or run GPU-heavy applications, you might be disappointed. It's fantastic for what it is, but it's not a replacement for a full-sized gaming rig. One thing I really appreciate about these mini PCs is their versatility. Both the NUC14 and GMK M6 M70 come with modern connectivity options like USB 4 and Thunderbolt, which means you can easily hook them up to external displays, docks, or even eGPUs if you want to boost their graphics capabilities. That's a huge plus if you need flexibility. And here's a neat trick. Some AMD-based mini PCs, like the GMK, can even be powered via USB-C. That means you can plug them into a compatible monitor and skip the separate power adapter altogether. It's like turning your mini PC into a super portable workstation. I've tried this myself, and it's incredibly convenient, especially if you're someone who moves between different workspaces. But let's be real. As much as I enjoy tinkering with these devices, I wouldn't make one my primary machine. Why? Because there are trade-offs. For one, the lack of a dedicated GPU means you're always going to be limited in certain areas. Sure, you can play games, but you'll often have to settle for lower resolutions or frame rates. I've used devices like the Steam Deck and Alienware's handheld, which have similar specs, and while they're great for casual gaming, they can't compete with a full desktop setup. It's the same story here. If you're someone who occasionally needs that extra power, whether for gaming, video editing, or other GPU-intensive tasks, you might find yourself frustrated when the mini PC can't keep up. Another thing to consider is the price. Mini PCs like the NUC14 can be surprisingly expensive for what you get. You're paying a premium for the compact design and the engineering that goes into fitting everything into such a small package. For the same amount of money, you could build a full-sized PC with better performance, especially if you're willing to sacrifice portability. So, if you're on a budget and don't absolutely need the small form factor, a traditional desktop might be a better investment. That said, there are scenarios where a mini PC makes perfect sense. If you're a developer who needs a compact machine for coding on the go, or if you want a secondary device for media consumption and light work, these can be fantastic. They're also great for digital signage, home theater setups, or even as a dedicated machine for specific tasks like running a server. The key is understanding your needs and not expecting more than what these devices are designed to deliver. In my experience, mini PCs are best when you already have a primary machine and you're looking for something extra, something fun to experiment with or to handle niche tasks. They're not meant to replace a full-powered desktop for most users. If you're considering one as your main device, I'd urge you to think twice. Spend some time really evaluating what you need from your computer. If portability and space saving are top priorities and your workload isn't too demanding, then go for it. But if you're someone who pushes their hardware to the limit, you might want to stick with a larger setup. Ultimately, mini PCs like the Asus NUC14 and GMK M6 M70 are impressive feats of engineering. They offer a lot of functionality in a tiny package, and for the right user, they can be a dream come true. Just make sure you're that right user before you take the plunge.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.